The Jungle Plot.
Once upon a time, deep in a dense jungle, lived a cheerful parrot in a cozy nest he had built high upon a sturdy tree. He had carefully laid his eggs and was eagerly waiting for his babies to hatch. Life was peaceful and full of chirping joy. One hot afternoon, a wild elephant, careless and arrogant due to his massive strength, wandered through the jungle. In search of food, he started breaking branches of trees recklessly. Without noticing, he struck the very branch where the parrot's nest was built. The branch snapped and fell, smashing the parrot's nest and his precious eggs along with it. The parrot, heartbroken and wailing, flew down to the wreckage. His cries of sorrow echoed through the forest. Just then, a kind woodpecker, his friend, flew by and asked, "Oh dear friend, what happened? Why are you crying so bitterly?" Through his tears, the parrot told him everything, how the elephant had destroyed his home and crushed his eggs without a care. The woodpecker felt deeply moved. "Don't worry," he said. "Let's go speak with the wise fly. She always has clever ideas." The two friends went to the fly and shared the painful story. After listening carefully, the fly said, "We will need someone clever who can help us form a plan. Let's go to the frog. He is old and wise." Soon, the parrot, woodpecker, and fly reached the pond where the frog lived. The frog listened quietly, nodding thoughtfully. After a moment, he said, "We may not be strong, but if we work together with intelligence, we can defeat even the mightiest creature. Here's the plan. Fly. You go to the elephant at noon, when the sun is at its hottest. Buzz sweet music into his ears, a melody so charming that he can't resist. As soon as he closes his eyes to enjoy the tune, the woodpecker will swoop in and peck his eyes, blinding him. Once blind, the elephant will eventually grow thirsty and start searching for water. That's when I will sit near the swamp and croak loudly. The elephant, hearing my voice, will assume there's water nearby. He will come closer and sink into the swamp, unable to escape. The animals nodded in agreement and set the plan in motion the very next day. At noon, the fly buzzed softly into the elephant's ears. As expected, the giant creature paused, swaying gently, mesmerized by the melody. His eyes slowly closed. In that very moment, the woodpecker flew in at lightning speed and pecked at his eyes. The elephant roared in pain, now blind and stumbling. Hours later, as his throat burned with thirst, the elephant began stumbling through the forest. He heard the frog croaking in the distance and moved toward the sound, hoping to find water. But instead of a lake or pond, he found a treacherous swamp. Step by step, he sank deeper and deeper until he was stuck. With one last roar of frustration and fear, the elephant disappeared into the muddy trap. The jungle sighed in relief, and the parrot, though still mourning his loss, found peace in knowing justice had been served.
Moral: wisdom and unity can defeat even the strongest enemy.
The Wisdom of the Week.
Once upon a time, a family of jackals was looking for a safe place to live. While wandering through the forest, they found an empty lion's den. It was quiet and hidden, so they decided to make it their home. The father jackal stayed inside the den, while the mother jackal stood guard outside to protect their cubs. Everything was peaceful, until one day, the lion who owned the den returned. Seeing the lion approach, the mother jackal didn't panic. Instead, she shouted loudly toward the den, pretending to speak to someone inside. Hearing her voice, the father jackal quickly told their cubs to cry out loudly, as if they were hungry and angry. The lion stopped in his tracks. He was confused and a little frightened. Then he heard the father jackal say, "The children are crying because they want to eat lion meat." The lion was shocked. He thought, "Who are these creatures living in my den? Are they stronger than me?" He didn't dare go closer. Just then, a clever fox came by. The lion told the fox what had happened. The fox laughed and said, "Don't be silly. They're just jackals. Let's go together and chase them away." So the lion and the fox walked back to the den. But as soon as they arrived, the mother jackal acted again. She looked at the fox and scolded him, saying, "Why did you bring only one lion? I asked you to bring 5. Now both the lion and the fox were terrified. They thought the jackals must be very powerful. Without saying a word, they turned around and ran away as fast as they could. Moral of the story: even if someone is not strong in body, they can still win with clever thinking and quick wit. Intelligence and courage can help the weak outsmart the strong.
The Tailor and the Elephant.
Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a kind tailor. His shop was near the road, and just across the road lived a huge elephant in a stable. Every day, when the elephant passed by the shop, the tailor would give him something to eat, sometimes a banana, sometimes a piece of bread, or sometimes a handful of rice. The elephant loved this tailor very much because he always gave him food with a smile. The tailor also enjoyed feeding the elephant, and soon they became good friends. One day, the tailor was having a fight with one of his customers. The customer was arguing loudly, and the tailor was filled with anger. At that moment, the elephant came by happily, expecting some food from his dear friend. But the tailor, still angry from his quarrel, lost control of his temper. Instead of feeding the elephant, he suddenly poked the elephant's soft trunk with his sharp needle. The poor elephant was shocked and hurt. He quickly pulled back his trunk and went away silently. But in his mind he thought, "This tailor has hurt me without any reason. I will teach him a lesson." The elephant walked to the river nearby. He filled his trunk with muddy water and returned to the tailor's shop. The tailor was busy stitching clothes and had forgotten about what he had done. Suddenly, the elephant sprayed all the muddy water from his trunk onto the tailor. The tailor was completely soaked, and so were the brand new dresses he had just stitched. Everything was spoiled with mud. The tailor became very angry at first, but after a while, he calmed down and thought about his mistake. He realized, the elephant was my friend. He came to me with love, and instead of feeding him, I hurt him. That was wrong of me. The next day, the tailor went to the elephant and gently patted him. He said sorry for his bad behavior and promised never to do such a thing again. The elephant forgave him, and once more, they became good friends. Moral: never hurt or misbehave with a friend.